All right, everyone. Hopefully, you're coming to this after just watching SNAPGHOST's performance.
Here we are.
This is the pilot episode of the Supraliminal Studios podcast, show, whatever you want to call it. We don't even have a name for it. Maybe you can come up with a name for it.
Yeah. Episode 1.
Yeah, episode 1. We got SNAPGHOST to the left. He just did a set. Again, if you haven't seen it, the link is going to be in the bio. So make sure you go there. Hopefully, you already saw it. We got Master Villain right here to my right, Keith. And you got me, Kenji. Don't know what I'm doing, but we're going to get it.
Here we are, episode 1. This is an interesting episode because these are the 3 co-owners of the Supraliminal studio. We're the 3 entities that kind of run the shop here. So, I mean, essentially, this is going to be an interesting conversation about, what kind of goes down here in the studio, what we're about to do, what we're looking to do, what future episodes are going to look like. It's going to be an interesting conversation.
Yeah, we'll definitely get into that. We definitely want to, the main focus of this episode particularly is to, give Steven SNAPGHOST. So weird calling you SNAPGHOST. Give him his flowers, talk about
his
the
secret
performance you saw. But also, at the end of this video, we're going to give out his mother's maiden name, social security number, PIN number.
Bet.
So stay tuned for that.
I'm already locked.
If you're going to stop watching soon, you should keep watching because that's at the end.
Those digits.
My zip code is
9,
Yeah,
7.
your first pet's name, your mother's maiden name.
901.
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
My cat's
yeah.
name was Phoenix. Oh shit! I
Yeah.
already gave out too much.
All right.
Too much personal.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Here we are, baby.
So, how do you feel about that set you just did?
Well, you know what? It's been a little bit of a roller coaster of my birthday was just at the end of November, so I was, for some reason, every end of the year, or for my birthday, I should say, I always get into this like music making mode, right? And so a couple days before birthday hit, I made a track called No Tomorrow, and then right after that, I made another song called My Heart It Aches, and it was just like, I don't know, whenever it's around my birthday, I always just get into this deep retrospective kind of vibe where I just want to make something that feels like what I'm going through, which is pretty much what I always do with music, to be honest. But
That's real.
that's
bro. I mean,
I don't know.
birthdays are fun, but like you spend a lot of time as you get older, like reflecting on your birthday.
Yeah.
I mean, we're getting older. It's not like let's go party. I mean, that could be part of it, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, once you go past like 30, everything's like kind of like you start to look at things a little bit deeper and a little bit more in the sense of like, okay, what is next year really gonna look like? Like I don't want to fuck all for a whole year, It's like what am I gonna go through? And also, it's nice to kind of put some music out that sheds, what you're feeling from the previous years, kind of take some of the weight off. And that's what I've done with music for a lot of the time, is just kind of using that to kind of shed feelings all the time. Music is like kind of a conduit to shed the feeling. And that, and then that speaks in different ways. Sometimes it's like happy music, sometimes it's dark. Most of the times it's dark for me, and that's kind of how my music sounds. But that's primarily what draws me to do this for as long as I've been doing it and as long as I will be doing it.
Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, yeah, we'll get into a little bit more of kind of the backstories and stuff. But I mean, I guess before we get into the weeds, I mean, if you guys are just watching this now, what's the date today? I don't know. After Christmas.
Yeah.
So I guess
we're
we
at
can
the
say,
I think we're at the 27th.
How are the holidays treating you guys? How was the holidays for you, Keith? What the fuck were you doing?
I ate a lot of food. I ate
Hell
a lot
yeah.
of food. Had
What'd you eat?
tamales.
Tamales.
Yeah.
Damn. You got that Mexican.
I mixed that American Mexican culture together.
Yeah.
Hell
You know what's
yeah.
fire, bro? You ever tried? So instead of microwaving a tamal, like the tamales, once you got them in the fridge, my dad put me on this. Take them out, dude. Put some oil in a pan and fry them. Do like a
so you
do
get
like a
like
light
the crisp.
fry on both sides, dude. You get a
Yo,
crisp, bro.
No.
I've
You ever
seen
had that before, dude?
You know what?
It might be sacrilegious to some people.
I
mean,
don't
dude, my
think it
dad's
is.
Mexican too, and he put me on that. That's, dude, it's so fire.
I don't think
you
it is.
You get that little crispy bits, dude, and you can put toppings on it, you know? Like, you can put like some guac on there.
yeah.
You can put some crema on top, some...
Sear it in there.
Bro, I'm telling
God.
you. If you do you still have some in your fridge?
No.
Oh,
I got plenty.
oh my God. Bro, you try that. I'm telling you, bro. If you don't have plans for dinner tonight, when you get home, dude, throw some on a pan.
That's how you take a 4-star to a 5-star.
Bro, I'm telling
Like,
you, dude.
honestly.
It's fire. It's
You know?
fire,
No,
dude.
like, like you have a burrito or whatever, you make it, you do that same shit, you like pan fry it on both sides.
Bro,
You get that
gas.
crisp on it.
Yeah, dude. It's nice.
That's how you get that
nice.
Michelin.
It's nice, bro. Other than the food, how else,
It was good. It was good. Very
kick it with the
reflective.
family?
Yeah. Yeah. As you get older, it's just like you get less, but you get more.
Yeah, I feel that.
You
Your
get.
inner kid who wants to be opening presents.
It's
and
like,
shit.
man, I wish it was like 2006 again.
Yeah.
And I was getting
open up a
like,
GameCube or some shit.
Yeah, bruh. GameCube.
Yeah.
Damn, that
With-
was my number one
Bro,
wish
yeah.
that I could get.
GameCube.
Dude.
And they all came with NASCAR 2002. Nobody knows why.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know,
that's
Jeff
how it
Gordon.
goes.
Yeah.
I was feeling that. I know the present I got for my parents, like, I already knew what I was getting.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
I didn't really, like, my lady, shouts out Ashley, like, she
Shouts
got me
out.
a food processor. I didn't know I was getting that. But, that's like, other than, like, what her dad got me, I knew what my parents are getting me. So I'm like, oh, it's nice. Like, I appreciate it. Like, they got me, like, a new TV because mine broke. But it's like,
A food processor.
that's a gas gift, bro. I'm about to go crazy in
Wait,
the kitchen.
I ain't never
explain that to the viewers that don't know what that is, including me.
So it's a machine that processes food.
Like, wow. What like?
No, I know. No. It's I mean, you can make ground meats out of it.
Oh, is it one of those like?
No. It's like
cranking-
the machines. It's it's the circle. It has like the tube on the top. You drop stuff in from the top, or you can just load it
okay.
up, and then it has like the blades that kind of go around. So kind
Gotcha.
of like a chunky, so you can.
Okay.
Like a slap chop.
No, I mean, well, you can make
Show
like
my age right now.
Slap
Sham
chop.
wow.
you could make like ground beef and
Don't sue me.
stuff. I mean, I'm excited to make some chimichurri with it.
Oh, there we go.
So
okay.
I'm excited for that. But
Nice. Yeah.
But to my point of like, opening gifts, that's,
Yeah.
it's-
Yeah. I'm in the same boat where it's like I've never or I know what I'm getting for Christmas from
Right.
all my family at this
Right.
point. It's like they're like done trying to guess what I want. They're like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
know
Yeah.
you'll never like what I pick, so just like tell me what you'd like, and then so that part's not really
Yeah.
a surprise.
Mm.
And then it's like kind of like the outside like little influences that is more more fun, It's like those little random gifts that kind of hit, but for
Yeah.
the most part, I don't know. I just
holidays are crazy.
Yeah.
It's a crazy time. I was just telling you guys off camera, I was at Costco like the week before Christmas, and I was about to have a nervous breakdown. It was so packed, bro. Like the shopping cart, I'm like drifting around people. You have to slide the cart because you can't make like a sharp enough turn.
Sample day, man.
The samples were fire,
Hey,
but
man.
bro, it was not worth it. I was in there. I got everything I needed within like 10 minutes. I did not know what to get my mom, so I walked around Costco. Dude, I shit you not, for like an hour. Just like with my AirPods on, just looking at the
up and
shelves.
down.
And I was just like, dude, this is ridiculous. Like, I don't know what to do.
And then
Anyways.
you finally like come up to the point where you're like, okay, this is like my
Yeah.
this is the gift.
Yeah. So that was our holidays.
Yeah.
I mean, New Year's
Yeah.
is coming up. You'll see this after New Year's, so happy New
Oh,
Year's
oh,
if
yeah,
you see
happy
this.
New Year's.
We're into 2024 by the time you see this.
Happy Supraliminal New Year's
Yeah,
from us.
from the
Yeah,
Supraliminal
yeah.
From
crew
us to you.
To you.
We don't say that often, ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. All right, so I guess we can get started, huh?
Yeah.
For these questions for
Yeah,
you, Steven.
yeah, we can
So
go.
I have an interesting one for you. So you might take some time to ponder on it.
Sure. I'll
What would you say is like your oldest music memory?
oldest
Like if you
music
look back, maybe like
memory.
early childhood, like maybe
Oh,
like
shit. Okay.
rides in the car, songs
Yeah.
you liked, like what really like made you be like, everyone listens to music growing up, but what were you like as a kid like, damn, like I love music. Or just a music.
It was definitely the first time that I really felt like this is kind of a flashback, but the first time I ever felt like I had to. The first song I ever downloaded was from Outkast. Yeah, it was Outkast. Was once Napster was created, I was listening to music
R.I.P.
before that, of course,
R.I.P.
on the radio and everything. I would say my tops were like, hearing Daft Punk on the radio. I'd always like hit record on the player, fucking Beyonce, and yeah, it was Daft Punk, Beyonce, and Outkast, and Justin Timberlake were like the ones on the radio where it was like they're playing, and like when like we don't have to worry about this anymore, but like you would have to catch them at the like you would have to be listening to the radio all day long, right?
Yeah.
And then
to like catch your song.
Yeah, to catch the song, you're like, oh shit, it's about to play because the DJ is like, and up next we got Justin Timberlake's, and they're like, I'm like, oh shit, like, and then like hit record and then like record it onto your.
What were you recording it
player.
on? You had a little tape player, like a little radio.
Yeah, like one of those little like tape players, and then.
Is that your brothers, or that was just like you guys like shared that, or
yeah,
like a household?
We kind of just shared it. Yeah, me and my brother were the ones who were like doing most of that.
How old were you at that time, though?
Oh shit, dude.
Like ballpark.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck if it was Napster, dude. I mean.
Oh, dude. Well, I was in.
That was Soulja Boy era.
I was in elementary school, and so that would have been in like 5th and 6th grade. So
Damn,
that would land me at like what, like 12 and 13, probably around there. I forget how the aging system works, but yeah.
Well, you went to a school that had like through middle school, no? So
it was like elementary, and then you had middle school for 2 years, and then.
But at the
then
same
high
school, though, right?
No, different. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you were shit. Man, I'm confused.
Yeah.
But no, but I mean, dude, if you were like in 6th grade, bro, you're like 12.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like 11 and 12,
like
like looking for and like Napster, dude. That's a whole nother conversation, but yeah.
It's like LimeWire.
Yeah, LimeWire and Napster.
LimeWire. What was the blue one?
Frostwire.
Frostwire? What even was that? Was that like a competitor?
It was like a sister. Like everyone thought it was a competitor, but
they're the same company?
Both. Yeah, they own both.
I kind of figured because they had the Lime. But I mean, what is it? Even if it was like a competitor, it's like, what is LimeWire going to do? Sue Frostwire?
And they're both doing illegal
That's
shit.
what I'm saying. Like, so I mean.
Fair game.
Yeah, it's like.
It's fair game.
I always wondered that. Cause I remember Frostwire being on like my mom's computer because like my brothers had like downloaded it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it was just kind of the classics, to be honest. I Daft Punk always stood out. Daft Punk was like the first time where I was like, oh shit, like electronic music can be besides Darude Sandstorm and shit like that. I feel like Daft Punk was like the first time I was like, yo, this is like a different sound.
That's true.
Like
especially
80s synths, like noises like coming into my brain for the first time, kind of
these
thing.
crazy ass French dudes.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't even know, at that time because we were kids. But
not at all.
I think it's a testament to like if you grew up in a family that did not listen to electronic music, like most.
Yeah.
I don't think
mine didn't.
Any of us did. Like
No.
I didn't grow up listening to electronic music. My brothers didn't listen to it. Like, so I guess on the radio, Daft Punk.
That was like groundbreaking
that was
shit.
2000s pop.
Yep.
Beyonce, like you said.
Yeah.
Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
That was,
Yeah.
And in hindsight, the beats are fire.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I mean, and half of those are like
some of them.
Some of them are, like Pharrell beats, which we, Pharrell is kind of one of the goats.
Timbaland.
Can't even, Timbaland and Pharrell.
Yeah, they were on those. Those
there's a reason
shits.
why those are the ones that stick out in our ear because they fucking know what they're doing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, what made you want to pursue a career in music?
What made me want to pursue a career in music? I would say once I So my brother picked up a guitar by the time I was in 5th grade, and he was a couple of years older than me, so he was already in middle school. I think he was taking guitar classes, and he had he was taking guitar classes, and he'd come back home with his guitar that he had, and he would like start playing like little licks that he learned from class, and I'm over here like still in like 5th grade or something, and I don't know, I mean, that was like the coolest thing ever, just
So around that same time, you were like downloading that music and shit, like simultaneously your brother's bringing a guitar home and like these different
that's when we were all getting into music together. It was like me, my brother, and a couple like neighborhood friends that were all like downloading this shit and getting into music. And then he gets into middle school where there's actually a class, because we went to a school like creative performing arts school that allowed, they had like guitar classes, which a lot of schools don't, right? So
middle school,
so he took a class like for his 7th grade year, going into middle school, and then brought the guitar back home because that's how it went. And then once I saw that and I was like I was like, oh my God, this is like the cool, I don't know, just like the young, I don't know, it just like struck me, like the guitar playing it. It was just, I knew, I was like, I wanted to do this too. It's very opposite. I feel like, let's say if he came home with a football or something, like from football practice, I would have been like, okay, like that's whatever. Like I'm cool.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really care. But the guitar just like struck me as an object. It just the whole image of it just looks so cool. And so I was like, oh man, once in 6th grade, before I went into middle school, I got a guitar. Leading up into it, because I was already like mimicking
guitar?
it. Yeah, like a little janky,
probably like a 3/4 like small ass guitar or something.
Jank ass little
little sky guitar.
Yeah, like strings barely work, and I was fucking around with that for a couple of years, or for like that time, and then once it was time for me to go into middle school, signed up for a guitar class, and then once I noticed that I had a talent for that compared to the other kids, like from like the first semester, I was like, oh man, I'm like rapping laps around these kids. Like most of them are like struggling to like figure out how to like, strum a chord, let alone like play a little lick. And I was like, man, like I feel like
weak ass fingers and shit.
Yeah, fucking weak ass fingies, dude. No, straight up, I don't know. In my head, I'm just like, damn. I was like, man, I just saw everyone else. I was like, I think I'm doing this like faster than you guys are. And then ever since then, I was like, I think I'm good at this. And then that just being like music, and then fast forward, like I did that from middle school to high school for 6 years with the same teacher. So I really got like a nice foundation of music because of that. Learning from the same dude. Shouts out Mr. Williams. I know you're watching him.
You're gonna find it and send it to him.
I know you're watching this, Mr. Williams.
Bro, he's probably retired now. Just chilling, bro. He's like,
I'm just William now.
He's like, fuck them kids.
He's like, I'm Sir Williams the Knight.
Yeah, dude, he's chilling, bro.
Yeah, but I mean that was the foundation of everything, and then he really taught me everything. And within all the guitar classes, like I always felt like I was excelling in a certain way. Never good at reading music, but like I would just watch him play a song, and I would just mimic it back, and then like instantly before most of the people could.
Yeah. So to kind of like circle back, then you would say just your early memories, like with a guitar, like that's what kind of really made you think, like this could be my thing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and then when you're a young man, what is more like romantic than like a dude with a guitar, and like how do you like woo the ladies,
Yeah,
that's kind of the vibe. Like how do I like
wrong.
Like what's my like
I hear you
like what's my catch, like who, like what can I do differently? I can play guitar. That was like I'm skinny, frail, little fucking
that was like
100 pound boy, but I can play guitar.
Story of like if a girl walks by like a buff ass dude that goes to the gym all the time, or she walks by like, you know, someone with like our build, just like playing music or something, it's like, which lane do you go down? I mean, I guess it depends on the type of girl, but
yeah.
you know, that's like that kind of like
100%, you know,
Yeah.
it's just like the story is already written, you know, so it's
Mm.
just like that's the outlet I'm gonna go towards, and that was just like the start of it, you know.
yeah.
That's what kind of catapulted all this shit.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's actually like a pretty good segue kind of to what I had to ask, because if you didn't know, now you know, me and Steven met in college at the Art Institute.
Yep.
Fuck the Art Institute. Not
Yep.
everyone we met there, the professor's cool as hell, but as like
An institution.
as an institution, fuck the Art Institute. Argosy, dude, fuck all of them.
We do not condone.
Dude, they're all closed. I actually just saw a thing the other day, dude, because I'm trying to get some transcripts. Dude, they closed like 4 schools this year.
God.
Like the one in Miami, like a bunch of them. Anyways,
Yeah.
bad news.
Yeah.
We got the fuck out of there. Made a lifelong friend out of it.
Yeah. Made
know.
made a few like very great
Dude, yeah, we met some
friendships
great
out of
people
that.
there. We
Yeah.
met some great
Still
people
talk to like
there.
a handful of them
Yeah.
to this day.
Yeah.
So that part was nice, but
So with that being said,
yeah.
so I'm sure your guitar stuff, you know, we've talked about this, you know, throughout the years, you know, segueing into wanting to go to college for it. But how was your time at the Art Institute? Just generally speaking.
Yeah, so I mean, I feel like college was, for lack of a better way to say it, probably one of the happiest times I've been in my life, because I was in this like I was in this like cloud of like you know, like you're not really in real life, but like you're learning the skills to be in the real world. But the skills that I'm learning is everything that I wanted to learn about music, how to create it, how to mix it, how to master it, how to do everything that I want. And on top of that, being surrounded by like-minded people such as yourself and like, you know, a handful of our other friends that did it. I was just elated with, like every day I was like just so inspired. I rode the trolley for like 2 of the 4 years that I went there until I got a car. And then every day I'm just like,
Do you remember when we were carpooling?
Yeah.
That was lit.
Yeah. That was
That
like
was sick,
towards
dude.
the latter part
That
of
was
it.
sick.
Yeah.
That was right before you got your car.
Yeah.
We
And
were carpooling.
we were carpooling, and I'm just like, man, every day we're just going home, listening to my like little shitty speakers, making a beat, and then like putting on headphones and riding the trolley, listening and like mentally critiquing and everything like that. It was just like and showing music to your friends, and like
Yeah, that was
we were all like in such a sharing circle, you know.
Yeah.
It was like one of the most like
We had a
beautiful
pretty tight
things.
group of friends like while we were there.
Yeah, we did. It was
You know.
so tight, you know,
Yeah.
and we were all very diverse, but like
Yeah.
centralized in the idea that we're
Yeah.
all into music.
Yeah, dude. Like shouts out, like Keith Coleon, Ronnie from Kaipora. You know, people might not know we were kicking it in college while he was there.
Yeah.
Just dude, we had a
Had
tight
a
group
handful.
of people. I mean, those are just
Sebastian
a couple
was
names,
my boy
Sebastian,
that I
KO,
Yeah.
Christian with a K.
Yeah.
Goes a
Christian with the
bitch.
K. Fucking.
That's how you.
we had Polo.
I'm gonna
we
send
had-
him that clip, and he's gonna be like, "Damn."
we had Damien, who always gave us a hard time.
Yeah, I mean, there was cool
there's a
people.
fucking handful
Yeah,
of
and also
motherfuckers
just to
in there.
preface too, like for people that don't know, like we weren't there just like making beats.
No, not
Like,
at all.
we were-
That was actually
It was
the
like
smallest
if
part.
this was the curriculum, this was making beats.
Yeah.
Like so, like
No.
that wasn't like we weren't there to make beats. So we were
Yeah.
there learning live sound, like recording people, production, live sound.
Yeah.
You know, all that type of shit. So I mean, we
Like-
had to learn the jack of all trades, master of none type
Yeah.
thing.
Mhm.
But I think a lot of people that went there like ended up being like, you know, it's nice to have all these skills.
Mm.
You know, because a lot of people did like live sound stuff after sound design.
I think that was the majority. Was
Yeah.
people went into like live sound gigs.
Yeah,
you know?
that was like a pretty common thing.
which is a big thing, but it's
good work. It's unionized. You know, you're working
it
with
is good
audio,
work,
but
but yeah, for sure.
yeah. But you know, like, what are kind of like the experiences that you took from going to school? Traditionally, because most people didn't go to school.
Right.
You know, like we're like in a small percentage of people that
Right.
like our parents were
Yes.
chill and like let us go to art school.
Yeah. We didn't have to go to
Yeah, so like
dentistry
so
or
like what's your takeaway from that of like not going to a traditional school, like going to art school?
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess that's first and foremost, it was like the fact that you're having a parent that was like cool with that, that
Yeah.
was like, hey, like pursue what you want, like, whatever college you want to go to, this is what you want to do. It's an art school, cool. Like she rocked with it, mom's rocked with it. So that was like step number one and being like, okay, I'll go and do this. You get co-signed. I was 18 when I started, so she had to co-sign. So she legitimately, it's like, you get locked into the contract.
It's a lot of money too.
Yeah. But we don't have to get into that.
Which is why fuck the Art Institute. Fuck
The
Art Institute.
Yeah, but I guess back to your question, being like what like the takeaway of what was the question?
Just I mean, the main thing was like how was your time there? But like, what did you take away from there? Like when you left, when you graduated, your portfolio was done. Like, what were your main takeaways?
Okay.
Like, so maybe you can drop some knowledge on someone who didn't go to school for it.
Yeah.
As someone that went there.
Yeah.
And did the work. Like, what is your takeaway?
Okay.
Of like what you learned at your time. Everyone's experience is gonna be different, but like, what was yours?
Yeah. So, I would say the number one thing, and I talk about this. The number one thing I would say is I talk about this all the time to anybody who's in the music field at all, is that you can learn everything, especially nowadays. Let's pour that up, baby. We can learn anything from YouTube, essentially. You can learn almost anything you want online. You can take courses online. You can do anything online. And it's only getting better. You could type into Chat GPT, what do I want? like how do I use this, whatever the fuck, right? But at the end of the day, I mean, the value of meeting up with people, especially when it was around college time. I don't think it really matters the age. Age was, I mean, we had people that were 18, we had people that were 43
straight
in
up
the same class.
Yeah, there was hella people that got out of the military.
Ex-military
I was fresh out of high
dudes
school, bro. And
off the GI Bill.
Bro, there was people that did like 10 years in the military.
Exactly.
And then, like, I was like fresh out of high school. I was like, bro, it's like a grown ass man, like,
Yeah.
which was cool. I mean,
suffering from
people
PST,
people
PTSD.
people live like real ass shit though, like
Yeah.
like real ass lives. I'm like, bro, I just graduated high school.
Yeah.
That also made me realize how fortunate
Yeah,
I
exactly.
was to be there at that time.
Yeah.
And not now. I'm 28. Imagine I did like 10 years in the military. I can't imagine going there now.
Yeah.
Not saying it's a bad thing, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's just you're at a different place in life.
But I remember all of the military dudes telling us, like, wait, you're 20 something, you're here? They're like,
Bro,
you're crazy.
Yeah.
Because like we literally put like our financial pocketbook into this idea that this dream, that we have of like being, like extending music into something that could be a career, right? And I think that was the takeaway, is being around people like yourself and like around all these other people who shared that. And you really can't learn that skill online. Like you can watch videos all day long and you can never like really feel like that like sense of community of like people around you who are in similar situations. Like they're not rich, they're not, they don't have everything figured out. It's like a whole group of people, but we all understand like this is something that we love, we enjoy, and we're all putting our hearts into it. And that is like the number one thing that I felt like from AI that you could never put a price point on, because if not that, we wouldn't even be doing this here.
Yeah, that's true.
I would have never met you.
Yeah, that is true. Networking is a big thing, and I think it's like, Especially now, dude, because everything, like, if you went the YouTube route and, like, you're making beats and say, like, you're the only friend out of your friend group that makes beats, but you got to tap into, like, your local scene or, like, something.
Yeah.
I mean, you could get recognized just posting shit online, but, like, eventually you're going to have to talk to people in real life.
Yeah.
Like, even if you get famous on the internet,
Yeah.
like, you're going to have to talk to people.
You're going to
in
have
real
to
life.
crawl out of the cave at some point.
Yeah, dude. So
they're going to be like, hey,
I
like,
do
we
think-
love you.
yeah,
Perform a show.
interpersonal skills, like you took GEs at the same time, so you're learning and shit.
Little communication,
yeah.
little English.
Dude, that's funny because that makes me think. I was watching another podcast. I don't remember if it was like Vince Staples or someone was like, you know, you can blow up on the internet. Imagine you're like, you blow the fuck up on the internet on TikTok or some
I
shit.
would hate that.
Imagine that, and then your first show is like a 20,000
I would hate
crowd show. Like, imagine that, bro. Like, that's happening to people though. Like, that is fucking crazy to think about.
Yeah.
We've all performed in front of like 5 people.
Yeah.
And like 10 people, 20
Well, yeah,
people, and then the shows get a little bit bigger, you know. But it's like, dude, imagine blowing the fuck up on the internet.
Like,
Damn, that's crazy to think about.
I think it's so fucked too, because now it's like anybody that already has a following could like essentially like put on a show, you know, because like there's gonna be a percentage of people that like will go to it regardless of like, it could be like a fucking Minecrafter fucking like, and it's like, oh, I decided to make music, and then like, hey, I'm putting on a show, and then they can already pull like 1,000 people based off of logistics.
But then you still probably get stage fright though. Like, that's
I would assume so. Or something like they would. And like most of those that I've seen, just it's like a flop. You know.
And the flip side of that is like people who are already known, like that Steve Lacy shit. Where he got his shit blew up on TikTok and people were going to his shows. They didn't even know who the fuck his music catalog, and people are just like standing around waiting for like a 30
Play that one song.
Play that 30
Play
second
that
clip.
15 seconds.
Yeah, that's what
My bad habits.
bro, that's what I'm saying, dude. That's why he lost his shit, because Steve Lacy's like a real artist, and it's like, bro, like, why are you buying a ticket here when someone who wants to be here could have bought that ticket? Like, if you don't fuck with my music, you know,
buy
like,
a ticket for 30
that's
seconds.
a crazy thing. I don't want to. That's another rabbit hole we don't got to go down. But
no, but it is a.
It is a
interpersonal
relationships, talking to people in real life. You know.
I mean,
social skills. I mean, it doesn't matter, dude. If you're introverted, I mean, if you're out, you know, if you're an outrovert, like, dude, it doesn't matter. Like, you have to talk to people. And like, you know,
you got it.
I can't say I'm either. But like, dude, sometimes I'm like, I gotta go in public and like talk to people. I'm like, shit. But then you do, and then you're like, that was actually pretty fun.
I agree with like not associating with either of the extro or introvert kind of label of it all. I think it's like, I think it's really dependent upon like, you know, what's actually like valuable to your time, you know, and if it's valuable, then you're gonna be extrovert.
I get what you're saying.
If it doesn't
sound like dickish, but like, I get what you're saying,
you know,
like,
and then like, but you know, if it's, I don't know, there's value in like making the small friendships and everything, but
So what would you say is where it gets a little cocky? What would you say your motivation is that separates you from everyone else in this field?
My motivation that separates me, man. Oh, that's a pretty deep. That's a deep one. You know what? On face value, I definitely have like an I'll show you syndrome.
Right.
Where I'm like, man, you don't think I can do this? Like, let me, like, I'll show you.
Let me show you the magic trick.
Yeah, like, oh, you like, I'm not good enough at this thing. I'll show you.
That's not a bad thing. That's like some competitive shit.
I think it's the competitive nature, and I think it stems down to the idea, you know, throughout my time making music, which a lot of it always, you know, stems from my feelings and emotions. A lot of it being in like relationships and stuff like that. It's always kind of like a way to my standout characteristic in that aspect. I think would be that, you know, I use the influence of relationships in a sense that I can grow from it and use something that could be negative and turn it into something artful. Yeah, that's my main thing, and I've been doing that for years. That's kind of like my, and sometimes that comes out in a happy way. Sometimes that comes out, in something that's like very like remorseful, like like looking in the past. Which, honestly, a lot of the times I feel like I'm doing this in order to kind of connect with other people who are feeling the same way. People who are heartbroken, people who are like reminiscing or like or like looking for like the new light in the future. I don't think that's anything like revolutionary by any means, but I think that is
for a lot of people.
I think that's a driving factor.
Yeah, I mean that's relatable for a lot of people. Sometimes dark paths, shit gets dark for you. You see a light at the end of the tunnel from that type of shit.
Yeah, Yeah, I think that's pretty much the cycle I've been going through, and
I mean, almost everyone can relate to that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think the relatability is kind of where I think the value lies more than anything.
Everyone's been down on some shit, and then something gave them, a light at the tunnel. Anyone that says they didn't, they're fucking lying.
Yeah, liars.
Everyone's been down on themselves. Like no one, like the most confident person is, be down on themselves.
Yeah, they do it in private. They don't make a song about it.
There's
like I
there's
do all
nothing
the
wrong
time.
with that. Like, but it's like you have a medium that you can do that.
Yeah, I guess it's just like putting that out in music form. It's like, you're kind of wearing your heart on your sleeve with everything. So with that, like, I'm sure comes with a lot of, little judgments of like, oh, look at the, but it's like, I'm willing to do that for the sake of making like art that people relate to. I'm all aboard that train.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is, I think, maybe like a good circle back to kind of something where maybe your music wasn't always that. Maybe it's always been that for you. But like, what do you think about like your music evolution? On how that's changed. Maybe like shit from I guess 2013, 2014. Now 10 years. It's been holy shit. That makes me.
that's a trip.
Yeah, 10 years ago, I guess.
Yeah, we were in the trenches back
I
then.
mean, even for my like not on some shit like 10 years ago my beats were ass. Your shit was good. My shit was ass 10 years ago.
No, stop.
But
better than mine.
like what do you think about? He said,
Yeah,
"What did you say?
yeah,
Better than mine." Better
You
than
see how
mine.
they stop? They're like,
I'm not gonna shit on you.
That's exactly
I never heard any of that shit either. So
exactly.
I can't
I
like
never
gauge
will.
it. I can't gauge it.
Never
You got
will.
that shit in the vault?
Deleted the vault.
Nah, it's not in the vault.
No.
Nowhere we can find that.
I only have
Alright.
one song. It's on my SoundCloud. Shout out to those people that know it. But regardless,
It's private.
no. The first track I ever put on there.
Oh shit. All right. Well, anyways,
Yeah.
before we derail and talk
fact.
about Keith's fucking.
I know. We could segue talking about it for a second.
Yeah, but what do you think about like your evolution
Yeah.
of your music? Like
Okay,
how has
yeah,
it changed?
you
Maybe
know-
sonically, maybe even personally, the way your outlook on music, just pretty generally speaking, like what's changed?
Yeah. I mean, that's the question that I ponder to this day because if
To
I
this
can
day.
to this day
To this day.
if I can do this in a clean and concise way, let's see if I can line up the timeline. So, during college, I was like super into the future bass, future music, selection style. I was ripe into production, learning about like Mr. Carmack and what selection brought and like what that even meant to be like a future bass.
That's how we connected.
That's how we connected.
Yeah.
That was like one of our like main connectors.
Esta, Mr. Carmack. That was
Yeah.
that was that era.
Yeah. Abjo went to the same school that we went to.
Yeah. Shouts out Abjo.
Shouts out to Abjo.
Yeah.
Jared Jarris, all these motherfuckers, who are making this like for lack of a better term, electronic music that was like way more melodic and like had sentiments of like 2010, like
Future beats are crazy at that time.
Yeah.
If you were on SoundCloud
Yeah.
from like 2014 and 2016, you know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
That's
It's-
the golden era of SoundCloud. Like
the
you know what we're
golden
talking about.
era
This is
of
not new news
SoundCloud.
if you've been like listening to beats.
Yeah.
Like
That was
but if you
literally-
haven't, I swear, like scroll down super far go on SoundCloud,
Yeah.
find SnapGhost, find mine, like find some beats that we're like go on our likes.
Yeah.
You'll hear like some shit.
Yeah, exactly.
well, too.
That age, yeah. Everything from that era, like from all those producers, like aged like fucking wine. Beautiful shit, right? And then so like, you know, I started doing that, and then I started for like my what do you call that? Like when you're graduating in college,
The portfolio?
like your portfolio project. That's when I started working with Ingemar.
Shouts out.
Shouts out to my motherfucking man Ingemar, Ingo Noir. We started working on music together, and with the influence of all that music, trying to get like the R&B vibe, but like, you know, future melodic electronic inspiration. Did that for that. We actually started performing that live, and doing that at like live venues, like local bars, local performance areas, and everything like that. And you know, that was going great. It was like, you know, I was feeling. And then once I started to get into the nightlife, I started to hear other sounds. Like I started to hear like other types of electronic music, you know, a little bit more techno, like you know, Sebastian's events. I went to like a handful of his, you know, big influence. Just like hearing and you know, I grew up as a raver without getting into that side of it. I was a rave head before even going to college. I was all into like dubstep, you know, electronic music, house, like techno, like trance, all that. I was like, that was the catalyst of like one of the parts that made me want to do all this shit was like going to raves at a young age. I wasn't even like old enough to. I barely could smoke a cigarette, you know, couldn't even buy a drink, but I was going to the raves and like, you know, rolling balls and just like going all out.
That was a crazy era, bro.
Right, yeah.
I was at those.
Era.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like listening in, and so I just
a lot of that influence kind of the heavier shit. Maybe.
Yeah, the heavier shit. The dubstep was like a huge portion of it when I was first learning music. Before I went to AI, I went to San Diego State, or not San Diego State, sorry.
The city?
Yeah, City College. And then I took their like electronic music class, and then they
that?
Yeah,
electronic music,
and they were teaching on Reason.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
Ooh,
and then so
Reason.
like
you're all clicking all the shit,
and then during
the modular view, that thing was weird,
flipping the string to the back, and like you know,
that was
like
weird,
hooking that shit up. That's a whole thing right there.
Like digital, like modular synth looking.
Yeah,
like, that was crazy.
Yeah. So meanwhile, I'm like going to raves and then coming back to that class. I'm like, and then like we have a project. It's like, oh, like go make a 32 bar song, and I'm just like trying to find the craziest wild bass.
Yeah, trying to make a big synth, big bass.
Yeah, so like to tie that back into everything, I think I've always had like that big bassy dark sound, but then like the melodic structure always just like kind of like digs deep into me, and then so there came a point where I started to get into, I don't know, like the like the witch house style of sound. You know, I'm scrolling through SoundCloud, right? Like we all do.
What year is this?
This is
so we can put like a kind of like a timeline. We had that golden era SoundCloud, maybe like 2014, 2016.
Yeah.
Where's this at?
This is probably like 2020.
Okay, so like a few years kind of.
Yeah. 2018, 19, 20, like around there, like kind of glistening into it. And then, you know, I don't know what it was. It's just like I started to hear this sound that was like, it was melodic, but it was dark, but it wasn't just like so in your like face, like battering you, but it just it spoke. I don't know. I'd have to say one of my top artists, Brothel, was like, he had like a few songs. He did like this remix of Q, and he like there was like a handful of songs he did, but I don't know what it was. I just like you get like a nice ass low reese bass into it, and you know, you just I don't know what it was. I heard it and I
Those
was
long like legato notes. that are,
legato
like,
notes, like
yeah.
kind of like these like
Some glide on it.
like church. Yeah, you got the glide, you got the churchy
Yeah.
bells, you got like these kind of like big synths, but like they're all like controlled in this like kind of like. I mean, witch house is like literally the way to describe that music. I feel like you're just like in a witch house, and ever since then, I was like, man, this is like I love this shit. Like this just works for me. Like and to be honest, I don't know why. I don't have the answer to why I love it so much,
Ain't
but
nothing wrong with
I
that.
just do.
Nothing
Like
wrong with that.
it just kind of ever since then, like, you know, I'll make songs with like, you know, like a nice, you know, like plug bass and like all types of songs, right? I'm not privy to any genre, but like if I were to describe my sound, it always has that like low Reese bass sound with like, you know, some like heavy synth on there, and it just
Well, that dark
ever
shit like
since
kind of worked
then-
out for you, bro. I mean, that sound like it's good. Like you're kind of able to culminate that like future beat type sound with. I mean, you can hear that.
Yeah,
If anyone didn't already know, like it's obvious. Like if you listen to your shit.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you
it's
didn't,
like kind
if
of
you
a
didn't,
combination.
yeah, if you didn't know, I mean, obviously now you know, and like you'll
Yeah.
really be able to be like, oh, that makes sense. Like,
Yeah,
you know, when you hear that type of shit.
yeah, yeah. It's like a mix.
Yeah.
I mean, what would you say, like doing all of this, what's the everlasting impact you want your music to make on people? Like you're gone.
I'm gone.
50
Rest in
years,
peace.
you know?
What's written down on
Yeah, it's like this is like your legacy. What do you want? Like you want that person to like really like hear it and like process it, or do you expect people to just hear it and go about their day?
I think ideally what I would want with the music that I make would be that it's one of those like how do you call it, like a light post, you know, like on a fucking beach, right?
Right.
The lighthouse, you know, there's a light, right? You see it from far away. There is a light, there's a beacon. And that beacon calls to you as you are in the darkness, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's this like little glimmer of light amongst the swirling dark, and you feel like you're alone, but there's like something that's like you can kind of like go towards.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I want, man. I think it's just like being alone, but then like the sprinkle of like light at the end.
Yeah.
I think that's what I try to do with my music nowadays.
It's
and that's just where I am as a person. And I'm sure as I evolve, maybe that'll change a little bit. But I think that's like my main channel for everything that I do right now. Just in the space of my being. And I've done it even at my happiest, even at my saddest. It's kind of just like I think I just like to channel that energy. And because people like that want to hear something that calls to them. Whether it's not the most popular style, sure, but there are those few people, but they need the beacon as much as anybody else.
Oh, for sure.
You know, and that's kind of all I've ever wanted from what I do.
Okay.
Money's cool too.
Hey, money's always cool.
But
you know, link in the bio.
Well, I think it's like a crazy thing too, like with that being said, because most of our music is like instrumental, so it's like I think instrumental music like lends people to like ponder while they're listening because you're not hearing vocals.
Yeah.
You know, so you're kind of like in your head a lot when you're listening to instrumental stuff. So that's like a very interesting viewpoint that you know,
can interpret
sometimes-
things in multiple ways like that
Yeah,
too.
I mean, dude,
like a song for me that I think might be like
Bro, it can be
remorseful
whatever.
could be like for somebody else like, damn, this is like I'm like ready to fucking go about the day. Like,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah, for sure.
depends on the person.
I think that's true.
But that's the beauty of like music that doesn't have a lot of vocals. Like you're not really, they're not telling you what to do.
Have your own interpretation. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think kind of like the last thing, we'll start to wrap things up here in a little bit. So can you speak on your thoughts of like working on like your solo music versus like collaborating with like another artist? Because you've done a lot of collaboration. I mean, with myself, with, you know, Master Villain, Baby Brother, you guys have your project, Ingmar, like Ingo Noir, like all that stuff. Shouts out Robert, like with the stuff with Robert.
Oh yeah,
like,
Bordy.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like all that stuff. Like how can you compare like maybe collaborating with these, maybe not them specifically, just other artists in general versus like what you do solo?
Yeah.
Like how does it change or what differs?
I think I do have an affinity for working with people one-on-one because I like to share my mind in half with people, whether it's like, I mean, where everything started with you, like splitting a beat in half for the first time and like understanding
That's so much fun.
how I can like, it's not all just me. Like I can.
Yeah, you're the first person I ever collabed with.
Yeah.
When we were at school.
Yeah, and like to understand how you can like start to collab with somebody. You know, in the beginning, it's for a lot of people who are like producers and everything, you know, it's so easy to just like bang out your own beat and like think it's the shit, right? But then once you start, like somebody's like, hey man, like let's link up, let's work on something. And then you try and then somebody in the beginning is always like, thinks that they have the better idea, right? What is great about
usually me. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. As the many times we're reeling it back and we're just like, Keith, shut the
no happy accidents. It's my accident.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm about to walk the fuck off of this fucking shit.
I'm
right
about
now,
to
dude.
slap this
table.
fucking drink off the
That's
table.
crazy.
Just Macho Man Randy 97 it.
If you don't know what the fuck's going on, this is what I deal with, like at the studio, like listening to this mother.
You should see my portfolio, beat after beat. I'm just like,
all right.
I fucked up.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah.
What's your you know?
I guess the main takeaway is, you know, you get you get humbled. You really do get humbled when you start to work with somebody else, because
Facts.
like you can sit in a room and make a fucking symphony all day long, right?
yeah.
And like you're conducting this whole thing, you're like, wow, this is such a fucking masterpiece, without anybody else giving you any type of like reprehensible fucking comments, right? And then like as soon as you go to show somebody, you're like, oh, like, yeah, that was cool, but this part, and then like your whole world gets shattered. You're like, what? This wasn't everything? Because you didn't fucking like share, like, sharing intimacy like that with somebody else is fucking vital. And what I love is you know, I like getting to the point that I am at in my like music career, I would say, is that with each person that I work with, it's like I let the sandbox kind of flow for them, you know, and I'm able to kind of like sift through it and pick up what I want. I guess without being like so fucking vague and metaphorical, it's, you know, with Keith, for example. I mean, when we first met up making music, I was like, I had like a longing to make like horrorcore kind of like style beats, like just like raw, heavy bass, like evil shit. And I had been making like future bass shit for a while, and it was like I finally, and then you told me your influences in music, and I was like, this is what I want. I was like, because like we all feel these different moods, right?
Oh, of course.
You know, it's like I have the future bass mood, and then like once I met you, then I was like, oh man, I have this outlet for this, and then we went to town on that music. You know,
we still going to town.
Yeah.
Yeah, and which we still do to this day. But it's like, I think that's the beautiful thing, is like it's like making different genres of music like almost like movies, you know, like sometimes you're in a rom-com mood, sometimes you're in a like a scary movie mood. Like it's just it's the thing that's great about working with other people like that is that like I feel like I can be like the facilitator of the vibe. I can like bring it back. Like whatever the emotion is, I feel like I can put that into sound. And like same with Ingemar, with you, with Keith, with Adrian, you know, with all my collaborators. It's like everything sounds different because when I'm working with a different person, it's like I think that's a key element. Is like not to put too much of yourself into it. Obviously, you have like a signature,
but it's a collaboration.
Right.
I mean,
sound, a signature sound. But at
you
the
can
end
hear
of
your touch on it,
right?
And if you listen to all that type of stuff, like if you listen to Blue Worship, listen to your stuff, the Snap Ghost, Ingo Noir stuff, the Kenji Snap Ghost collabs, the Master Villain Snap Ghost. You can hear that.
There's DNA.
Okay, this is like what he brings to it. Maybe ours is a little bit more blurred because we've been making music together.
Ours.
Like you might sometimes our shit, you might be listening to it and be like, I don't know who the fuck did what.
Yeah, but their names are on it.
But I mean, I think you can cohesively hear all of that stuff and be like, oh, okay, this is like he's got like a sound. Like you can hear that. And
I guess as any producer, that's kind of like what you would like as a trademark. Without having like a yo snap, you know, like to tell
where
everybody. Yeah,
that's about to be your new beat tag.
I mean, which wouldn't be a bad thing.
That's about to be your
yo sound man, bring it back.
Yeah, bring that back, baby. Yo snap, bring that back.
Yeah,
bring that snap back.
And like maybe you can relate to this, but like my 2 cents in the collab is like a lot of our like your collabs particularly are like in person. Like you're not really like sending stems to people and stuff.
Right.
As of right now. Not saying you're not down to do that, but
that's the majority.
One of them is like instant feedback.
Yes.
Right.
Like, you know, you put some shit down and you're like, I don't know about that. And they're like, nah, that was fire. Yeah. Like that was sick. I like that. Or it might be even like, maybe this can change. And like you get like the instant feedback.
Play some chords. You're like, what do you feel about this? Like, oh yeah, those chords.
Yeah, and it might
sick.
be something that you would have been on the fence. Like if you were in the room by yourself, you might have been like, I don't fuck with that. But it could have been some shit that was fire that you just threw away. But you got the instant feedback. Yeah. And it ends up being like a great song or like a great track.
And you would never know that unless you worked with somebody else.
Yeah.
That's, I think, ultimately the beautiful thing of like, you know, like in the event that you're like a new producer thinking that you can just be like this like reclusive, like lone little demon in a cave that like makes the coolest shit ever, you can maybe get to a point, but like there's going to be a point where you can't, and like you will have to connect with people.
Feedback.
That's all it is.
Straight
like
up.
you really need the human connection in order to like
that goes back to like what we were saying about the art of meeting people. You got to talk to people, like send your shit out to people, like, you know, before you drop it and be like, what do you think about this? But you can't ask people that are like yes men. You gotta ask like your close friends that'll be like, honestly,
like let's say they only listen to rap and you're showing them like an electronic song.
They go, that's cool.
Yeah, like
I like that.
Yeah,
sounds tight.
Yeah, it's like okay, that's an endorsement.
You gotta find
from
people
them.
that'll give you like honest feedback. Like don't ask like your best friend, like unless they're like real cool and like gonna give you honest feedback. But like you want to ask people that are gonna give you honest feedback. Yeah. And anyone you're collabing with, if you're that intimate with to like bring to the studio, they're gonna give you honest feedback.
Yeah.
100%.
And I think it's important
both ways. Like you expect to give them honest feedback. Yeah. You get honest feedback. You know.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And I think it's important to like if once you start to work on music with somebody else, like drop your ego a little bit, be receptive to new ideas. You know, I think that's one of the most important things. Don't just like criticize the first snare drum that they pick. No, this bad. You know, like that kick sucks. It's like you'll never start a song like that. Yeah. Like just like let the idea flow. You can go back, you can change it, flow with it. Just like
at the end of the day, like it's both of your project. Like it's not just yours, and you're gonna be like, nah, it's got to be my way or the fucking highway.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Yeah, like you know,
because you're gonna end up like with that mentality, you'll just end up with a vault.
Yeah,
you know, and then it's just
a vault of unopened.
And then you show it to people, and it's like case in point. Like when we linked up, I was like, hey, just play me something, you know, and then. It was something from like 6 years ago, and we made it a song.
Yeah, that's hella true.
You know, so it's just like, and you're like, oh shit, I didn't even.
Yeah.
It's hella true.
That goes to all the producers out there. Don't hold on to that vault. All right.
Bro, you can say that till you're black and blue in the face. You know,
I got my own vault, so I can say that.
Anyone that
'cause it's a
makes
problem.
beats, bro, I know you got like 100 plus projects on your computer.
Everyone's got it. That's the beat maker dilemma.
Yeah. And honestly, if you do, shouts out Cuddy from My Goons. He'd be like putting like the BPM or like the date. They're like numbered and shit.
Yeah.
Dude, my projects have the stupidest names.
What the fuck is this part 7?
Dude, I literally started a beat yesterday that said, "This is a mess." LOL. I promise you, in a month when I open that, I'm gonna be like, "What the fuck is this?"
Oh,
I'm gonna open it and be
shit.
like, "Oh shit, that was that beat."
Oh my god, dude! You know
From
how
one
many?
person
You know
to
how many
another.
Ken X Snap
Oh
beats
my
we
god,
have, dude? Oh
Snap
my god.
X Ken Snap
Kenny
Snappy
Snappy.
Kenny, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, label your tracks if you can. That's a.
And I can't even practice what I preach because I don't do that shit. But I'm trying to get better.
Yeah,
Some of my beats, I'll start putting like the BPM and like
We're
the
all-
date or something. But
we're all growing.
It's like a
Yeah.
time of death for your beat because
Yeah.
you're stamping it, and it could be the time of death because it never gets played again.
That's some real shit.
You know, it's like, when did I make this?
Yeah.
12.
Yeah. Also, since
20.
we're kind of on the wrap up,
Yeah,
we were hyping up Keith's phone.
yeah.
Bro, you have ads on your notes.
Yeah, I know,
Oh, that's
bro.
pretty
Jersey
fire.
Mike's order delivery,
Yo,
bro.
There's an ad on the notes. That's some Android ass shit.
That's some-
They hating.
I had a
Hey.
dream. I'm not even fucking kidding. This is not a joke. I had a
Dude.
dream last night that I got an Android phone and it was just inundated with fucking like
Merry Christmas.
crazy. Dude, I'm not. This isn't even a joke. I couldn't even like make this up in my head. There was like little like little Minecraft. Like I was like, how do you use this? I'm not fucking kidding.
That's some dream ass logic that you're like, how the fuck do I use
Yeah, I was
this?
like, how do I slide these characters away to like get to like call somebody? I cannot make this up.
That's some
at the-
boomer ass shit. You're like, how does this work, bro?
I cannot
Call
make this up. I was like
Oh my
going out of
God.
sleep paralysis and this shit came up. It was like
Jesus.
it was a nightmare.
Yeah.
The Android was literally a nightmare of
Yeah.
mine.
Well, this has been the pilot episode for the Supraliminal
Yes.
Studios. If you're still here, goddamn, you're a great person.
We love
Thank
it.
you so
Better than
much. At this point, I'm looking at the camera and I'm hoping this shit's even still recording.
Yep.
And you didn't get called.
Yeah. So there might be a little cut if you see this.
There might be a couple cuts.
'cause,
Yeah, a couple
Because
cuts.
SnapGhost said
Oh, my shit
he's
cut
got a little thing for us, but if it's gonna cut, it's gonna cut right here.
Well,
Yeah, we'll hand it over to Snappy G,
Snap a G.
Sultan of Slaps.
anyways, guys, I know I'm the guest today, but I have a little gift for you two.
All right. All right.
Since we're in the Christmas spirit, New Year's spirit, I guess at this point,
Keith's like, damn, I ain't get shit for you, dog.
here's a whole bag of I don't give a fuck.
This motherfucker got me a melted ice bag.
Just pull it up.
Let's just pull it up.
Keith was fucking talking earlier about Christmas. He's like, I ain't get to open no presents. Here you go, Keith.
I got socks.
Here you go. Open that
There's
shit
one
up,
for
dog.
each of you. The tall placards there,
Yeah, what's
and
what?
you'll know whose is whose.
What's what?
There's
Pull it
one.
out.
There's. Oh, I wonder whose is whose. There's one for each of you right there.
Oh.
The Ben one's yours.
Oh. It's
Dang.
hard.
Yo,
RJ McCready.
one of our
That's
main
Bro.
new.
This is fire. Love that. I was
talk-
gonna say
there.
right here,
Metaphorical
fucking
music.
metaphorical music.
Yep.
Fucking right there. Pass that shit over right there, Keith.
Yep.
Fucking right behind you.
Yep. Right behind it. Yep.
Yeah, that one. Pull it.
Yep.
Pull it, dog.
Uh-huh. Yes, sir.
J Dilla.
Yes,
These are the
fuck-
records behind us.
Yes,
J
fucking
Dilla
sir.
Donuts. Metaphorical music.
The collab.
Rest in peace. Damn, dude.
This
fucking
was
tight.
this was the
Oh, this shit's metal.
this was and this was
tight.
the flyer that we used for
Yeah, this
one
was
of the main.
Yeah, I used this as like the format for the New Job as Dilla show.
Yep.
Also,
Yep.
for a plug, if you're seeing this right now, in February, this is, you're going to hear it first
Yeah.
We're doing another new job as Jay Dilla show at Hannigan's in February.
In tradition.
I think it's February 24th. Can you pull
Yeah.
up your calendar?
Damn, I can.
February
I would
24th.
hope you
Yep.
can, bro. Pull that shit up,
This
bro. What are you
futuristic
talking
phone,
about?
I should be able to.
The month
for-
of Dilla and
Android
Nujabes.
users be on some shit. Dude. Bro, this is January. Yeah, so it'll be February 24th. I don't know if the flyer will be out by then, but we'll be out there doing another new job as Jay Dilla show. I'm not going to leak the lineup or nothing like that yet, but I'll be there DJing some new job as shit. Pull up.
Made in China.
And Keith, you want to
Yeah,
you want to give a little explanation of what I got you over there?
I don't even know what all this is. There's a sticker. Yay, serial killer documentary.
I mean that goes without saying.
That's probably mine.
Yeah, the notebook is that's for you, Kenji, right there. Yeah.
for me.
So I got
Shit, dog.
Yo,
Yeah.
it's for Kenji.
That's for me.
Those
bro.
dry ass lips.
the
I got some
keyboard
dry ass
the
lips
the
right
key
now,
the
bro.
keyboard thing
I'm
was
open this shit right now.
Kenji about to be a norteño with this necklace on.
Oh, that's and that's for Adrian.
Oh,
that's
for Adrian.
we'll
That's not
keep
for
that in
me.
the bag.
That's not for me. Never mind. that bag.
But yeah, so I
That
got
bag.
the keyboards for my boy, and that's for the studio for to log our shit down.
We got
right?
the Dream Journal.
Yeah,
Alright.
that's our manifest journal, as you will.
The manifesto.
But yeah, I got the serial killer sticker for you, and go ahead and lift up that tin, brother. What is going on over there?
Yeah, you know,
What do we got?
We got like R.J. McCready.
Oh
Yeah.
my
If
God!
you don't know,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell you. You just don't know.
Like,
You just
Google it.
Google it. It's
Go-
on my skin. All right,
Like, Google it, bro.
Google it. All right,
Just
it's his best movie.
Google that shit.
His first movie, his best movie.
All right.
Google the thing.
Yeah.
So
You're giving
we
away
got
too
it
much.
here. We're out of here. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you made it this far, for real, again, if you watched this long, you're probably a close ass friend.
You probably one of those that leave Netflix on and it says you still watching.
Yeah,
Passed out.
nah, for real. This is just episode 1. We're gonna be doing this monthly.
Yep.
So again, watch Snap Ghost performance that he did before this. Bro, that was aggressive as hell.
I know, right?
So watch Snap Ghost's performance again. The link is gonna be in the bio. Yeah, I mean, shoot, you guys got any words to say when we bounce out?
Steven, what you got going on that the crowd can find you? Where can they find you at?
The
Bro.
crowd. Oh shoot, man. Well, I just had
Plug
my
yourself.
last show of the year. Yeah, I guess we could do a little plug, right? I mean, just look me up anywhere. Usually it's just all caps, Snap Ghost. If not on Instagram, Snap_Ghost. All the same shit.
Yeah.
New year lining up, all new brand new shows. I got a lot of stuff working with Blue Worship. Go ahead and take a look at that. That's been a lot of the bulk of my time for live performances with my cooperative partner Adrian, close friend. We've been doing Blue Worship, and it's kind of more on like the electronic gothy side of things. Been doing a lot of shows locally, San Diego here. But that being said, I plan on releasing a lot of music all across the Supraliminal board.
That's right.
That's as good as a
this is
plug
our
as I can get.
this is our content year.
Yeah.
So if you're watching this,
Content.
hold us accountable because this is January. This is number 1.
Oh yeah, let's
You
get
know.
some Supraliminal news. That's the host right here.
Yeah, I mean, dude, this is the content year for Supraliminal. It's been a way too long coming, so we're gonna be giving you these videos monthly. We're gonna have producers, local artists. Doesn't have to be producers, but that's what we'll be doing monthly. We'll be doing a lot of these performances like you saw, and then interviews. If the whoever's performing is comfortable, and that's what we're doing.
Yep.
Look forward to more shows, more of these videos. Tap in, and Happy New Year if you're seeing this, because
Happy New
it's
Year.
2024 now. Holy shit.
Happy New Year's. Supraliminal out.